God bless everybody. This is your crazy coach here, Cynthia Robinson, coming on with within your crazy within talk show. And I hope that you guys are prepared to get your businesses straight in order. I have on a wonderful woman who is doing it right now. She is assisting women and entrepreneurs, just not women, I'm pretty sure men as well. Entrepreneurs help people who need help. And there's somebody who needs help. I joke about this all the time. I feel like I'm doing 17 jobs and I'm one person. But seriously, like we all need help. We all need that support team. In the word of God, it's called the help ministry. And so we need people who help us to be those people out front who are assisting other people. Nobody can do this on their own. Nobody can have a business on their own. Nobody can uh, do anything without some type of support. I work in a hotel business, as you all know, and I know that I can't make it if I don't have my supervisors and my front desk people working, and my boss can't make it if I don't come to work. And so to have a virtual assistant, to have somebody there supporting you in your business, helping your business to grow, telling you the goods that you need to have to help your business to become more income savvy. Actually, if you're like me, you're trying to leave that 9 to 5 to go and doing this business on a full-time basis. You need that person that's behind the scenes that is assisting you on how to do it, when to do it, and where to do it. So I have the honor of having a master coach who is actually doing this with women and men, I'm pretty sure, assisting them on how to assist people like us or me. So before we begin, as usual, I'm going to pray and then we're going to be talking to our co-host. I'll do her bio first and then we will talk to our co-host. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you and praise you on today. We thank you for this word on today. And Lord, we ask you that the word that you are giving us on today about us becoming more savvy about our businesses, that we take that word and we honor that word. There will be people who will come on here either live or in a replay who need help. And we thank God that you have placed in our midst a sister who has done this and is doing this and is providing this assistance. And we thank you right now for her being able and willing to come and speak about this. Lord, we ask you right now that you take over this show, that you let the words that you would have us to say to be the things that you would have us to say and not what we would want to say. Lord, grow us in the way that you would have us to go. And Lord, we thank you and we praise you. May we decrease and you increase, and we will never fail to give you the glory and the honor in the precious name of Jesus. Amen. And now I'm going to read you her bio. Ms. Scarborough is a virtual assistant master coach who helps new and aspiring virtual assistants to earn consistent monthly income. Teekwa developed a unique process that attracts and retains clients while increasing revenue. In her profit coaching program, Triple Your Income in 90 Days, Scarborough uses her expertise and successful agency to assist clients in identifying useful messages. Moreover, she installed a client attraction system to get the attention of people ready to hire a powerhouse virtual assistant. I like that. I want to talk about that. Let me underline that. She installed. All right. Okay, Teekwa graduated at the top of her class, cum laude, from Monroe College in 2008 with a bachelor's and a BA in business administration, computer information. She is the eldest of 3 siblings and is a single mother with 2 children and 2 grandchildren. An author of 2 books, To Be or Not to Be an Administrator and Embrace Your Season of Singleness. She also has a planner, intentional goal setting planner for virtual assistants. See, she has information on top of information. That's what you need. You need information on top of information. A blurb from her book, Embracing Your Season of Singleness. And I want everybody to know already, we're going to bring her back to talk about this because there are a lot of single people, and y'all need to express. I'm not single, haven't been single for quite some time, but you guys need someone that you can talk to. Many people believe singleness is lonely, abnormal, and something that should not be embraced. In a perfect world, everyone would be married and have their happily ever after. However, the truth is, being in a committed relationship will not happen for everyone. Therefore, what does one do in the meantime? In embracing your season of singleness, Teekwa Scarborough shares her quest to find perfect love and the shift to embrace inner and singleness. Filled with practical tools and principles, Teekwa provides the blueprint to living a fulfilled life in the absence of a mate. And having said that, let's bring on this wonderful woman of God. Thank you so much for coming on, my co-host for the evening. Thank you. Thank you for coming on. And I just want to say something. I know we're going to be talking about the virtual assistants, but something that you say here, I say this all the time because a lot of my married friends, and especially married pastors, say this all the time, that people need to get married. And that's a wonderful thought process, but as somebody who never wanted to get married, literally God to step in on that for me. Singlehood to me wasn't a bad thing, and I think people give off this horrible impression of what it's like to be single, and I just think it's wrong. I think that some people are, and even Jesus talks about, there are certain people who are just going to be single. They're not, I won't say made to be married, but they're not going to be married. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's the same way people love to embrace marriage. I think they need to embrace singlehood. Just because you're single doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. There's not, like, if you put abnormalities, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you're single and maybe you enjoy being with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that's why I said I definitely got to bring you back on that, because a lot of people, I think, take singlehood as a bad thing, and it's really not. It should be embraced for what it is that there's a time for you to sit, and I love the way you said, embrace your season. And for you to have that season where it's just you and God, or just you by yourself, learning about you, what it is that you will accept, what you won't accept, the things that you need in your life, what you don't need in your life, I think it's real important. So having said that,
it is.
We're going to Master Coach, and let's talk about virtual being a master coach, and talking about being a virtual well, let's talk about being a virtual assistant, because I'm assuming that you were a virtual assistant before you became a master coach.
No, I was not.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Now you got me intrigued. Let's talk now.
Years ago, I helped out a friend. This is years ago. Just helping them out and seeing how it is. But when the thought that came to me about virtual assistant is, like, I've been a senior executive assistant for over 20 something years working at a corporation.
Okay.
So my thought behind that, when I first started as an admin at that time, being single, a single parent, I needed to find a job, right? And that was the only thing that was available. I was like, come on, is there something else? Because I don't want to be doing nothing, running, getting nobody coffee. I don't want to be doing it. If I got to stay home and take care of my child, I don't want to go to the job taking care of nobody else. But once I got into the position, it was a totally different ball game. I was able to build on some skill sets, learn new things, and also teach people who's been there for years who didn't know how to do technical stuff, right? You know, you have those old school women who don't like new. They don't change, right? They want everything old school, right?
Right.
New, the fresh, and the quick things, like, we can get this done faster than this, right? We don't have to go along. So from there, I blossomed as a executive assistant and got promoted as a supervisor.
Wow.
Then from there, I took my certification for the yellow belt, which is the Six Sigma certification. And then I challenged myself, and my boss said, "You can go and do the green belt." So I did the green belt. So from there, it was like, okay, so where else am I going to go? Because we're capped at a certain grade at our job, and I'm like, okay, Lord, well, what's next? You know, the next chapter, and that's when God has brought me to my business. So whatever I learned, building those processes, doing project management, I moved into an online space. And of course, I had to
Wow.
learn these things, right? You sometimes throw yourself in things and you have to learn the hard way. So,
Right.
what I learned the hard way, I'm able to now coach others to do it shorter way, you know, the easy way, not the long route that I took and all the mistakes that I made building my virtual assistant agency. So, yes.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds nice though. If you think about it, that you actually were not a virtual assistant, but that you were an administrator and a
Mhm.
proven administrator, because if you've gotten all your belts, and if nobody knows about these belts, these are some serious belts here. uh, but being able to do that, that's sort of cool. I think I like that. All right, now the one thing that I did like, and I said I had to underline that for everybody that didn't see it, I underlined it for real. It was she talks about in her programs. So can you tell us about your programs, and then we'll get into what I underlined.
Mhm.
So what are your programs that you offer?
Okay, programs I offer is my one-on-one triple your income in 90 days. And that's my one-on-one where I work with you each week for 90 days on getting your business up and running, right? I also have women who has been in the business for a while and they had never had any clients. So I'm showing them how to attract their clients. So the secret sauce is knowing who your ideal client is, one, right?
Right,
Knowing their
right.
emotions, knowing who they are, and who you want to market to. Because one of my mistakes was marketing to everybody. It's like I knew I was like, well, I know what I'm doing. I can help her. I can help him. I can help everybody, right? So yeah, you could be able to help different people, but not everyone is for you, right? Not
Right,
everyone
right,
you can work with in the business. And then I have to stop and think, say, I want to work with any and everyone, right? I want to
right.
work with people that resonate with me, that shares my core values and things like that. So that's what I do with the program. I show them first. It starts with our why. Why did you get in this business? Because first of all, if you're in it for the money, then I don't know how long you're going to last. I know that when you have passion and you know your why and know why you're doing this, people see it. People see it in you. They see the passion, and those are the people that they want working for them in their business. Not someone who's in it for the money. Maybe it may be some folks out there like that, and I'm pretty sure there are. But I know that the clients that come to me, they
Mhm.
know what they do. They know who they want to serve, and the one thing that resonate with them is that I'm a faith-based business. So it's like, how did you intertwine with that? I said, because I wanted to show up uniquely me, and I did not want to shy away who I am. So I'm going to show up who I am, and I'm going to tell them who is the boss of my business, who is the CEO of my business. I'm not afraid to tell that. And people love that, you know, and they love it. And I hear it all the time. So, being able to help them make money in their business from 9 to 5, shifting from a 9 to 5 mindset to a CEO.
Mhm.
Once you start shifting your mindset, then you can start really getting into
Yes.
your business.
Yes, yes. And I think that is so important, because I think and I have to speak for me. I cannot speak for anyone else, but I know for me, shifting the mindset to go from being an employee, no matter what position you are as an employee, you're still an employee. And to go from that to learning how to run your own business, where you're on top of it the same way you were when somebody basically gave you the floor plan. And when you start doing your own business, there's no floor plan really set for you, especially when you're talking about authors. Authors don't have a floor plan. And so you write your book, and then everybody expects you to sell it. But then there's a way of doing it the right way, telling it to the right people, and shifting that mindset to understand that that has to become your priority. And I think for a lot of people, the mindset is the issue, because for a lot of us, you're still stuck in that 9 to 5. You're still stuck in, oh, when I go into work, this is what I do. This is how I do it. And you've been doing it for so long, you know it. But now you're starting something new. You're starting a business and learning, literally, probably you've never had the entrepreneur in your family, or you never had any of your family that ran a business. And learning how to run a business on your own, and knowing when to show it for you, knowing literally when to show it for yourself. It's really important. So what are some of the issues that you find when you first start out with your clients, as far as getting them to shift their mindsets?
It's to be honest with you, a lot of them come to me and say that I need help with my mindset. So I have people who actually really come out and tell me. I don't even have to say anything, and then we'll just start working on that. And we do that through, some exercises and talking things through. Because what I find out, I'm not a therapist, right? I'm not a professional, but as women, we understand some of the things that some of us may go through, or we have similar things that we went through. So I'm able to help with that. Right? It may be some deep down issues that someone has, and they just need to talk it out and get all that gook out, so that they can clear their mind and be able to shift their mindset into, yes, I can do this business. No matter what happened to me in the past, this is what I really want to do. And you can see it and you can feel it, that this is what they truly want to do. And when I see that, and I see that they're ready to work at it, that's a match for me. That you want to do this, because now you're making my job easy. Because now we really get down and work on the things, the holes that you have in your business, and fill in those holes, so that now that you can show up as the expert that you are. Now that you can shift from a 9 to 5 employee to a CEO running your own business, even if, like you mentioned earlier, you never had anybody in your business as an entrepreneur. I don't know if I had anybody in my business. I know I didn't have anybody around me, but that didn't mean and stop me from doing what my heart desire.
Right.
It's definitely that.
So have you, and I know for all of us, those of us in business, there comes a time where you have to give the no. That this isn't a good feel for me. This isn't a good feel for us. We're not coming to an understanding. We're not coming to a consensus on this. Like, this is not working for us. How do you deal with that? And also how, especially if it's someone who wants to come and start their own business, and they're coming to you, asking you, and you realize that this may not be a good fit for you. How do you deal with the no?
I really didn't have to deal with that. I'm pretty upfront. People know me. People who know me know that I'm real and I'm transparent. And I would tell you, like, I'm not going to work with you if you're not going to put the work in. And I'm telling you this up front, because I don't want your money. God didn't put me here to take your money, just to take your money. I'm here for a purpose. Okay. So I'm a single mom, and I'll let you know, I'm a single mom. So if I'm showing up here every day on time, doing what you asked me to do, I expect you to do the same thing. So if I'm putting, I need you to put too. So I put that up front. So right then and there, they can make a decision like, okay, she's not playing, let me get my act together. Or, okay, I don't think that this is going to be a good fit. So basically they'll make that decision on their own if they decide not to move forward with me. But I just let them know up front that I don't have time to waste. I really don't. There are women who are really, really working hard and being very coachable in their business. And I put extra for them because they're doing what they're supposed to do in their business.
All
So
right. Okay. So you first said that you have a one-on-one. It's a 90-day program, correct?
yes.
And so do you have another program?
Yes. So last year, I started my group coaching program called the Kingdom Minded Virtual Assistant Group.
All
Um,
right.
yes. Last year, it was a beta. And that doesn't mean that beta, it was broke. But God put in my heart, God put in my heart to help 50 women. So he didn't tell me how, but I wanted to help women. Some women got into the program for free. Some people got in on not even $100, and I took 12 months to help them in their business. So this
Okay.
is where it comes in, where I tell you in the beginning that if this is not for you, then
Mm.
and then you have that bunch, that small handful that falls off, don't show up or whatever. So I show up and I say what to say. If you don't continue, then that's on you. That's your responsibility, right? So the group was very successful. I had women in there by the grace of God that have booked clients to 2022. They are booked out with clients. And I was like, that's
Wow.
all you, God. That's all you. Women who are busy now that's texting me and saying, Coach Teekwa, I'm so busy. I don't got time for myself, And so that launch last year was successful, and now I'm doing it a second year. And already the first quarter, some of the young ladies already started booking their clients, met their goals. So I'm happy about that. Yes.
Fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
So what would you now you say she installed a client attraction system. I love that. So I don't want you to give away what it is, but I want you to tell us a little bit about what it is. What is your client attraction system?
Oh, I basically give the blueprint of how to attract their clients. We are not in the business to run after. I know me as a single mom. I want to run. And you have different people who have different styles, different programs, and different things that they do. And I have went to have different coaches. And I have to say, it was only one coach. The last coach that I had was the one that put me through this client attraction system. And then I, in turn, took that and made it into my own. So it's a program that they have to go through that a first quarter of really identifying who are their ideal clients. So they have different assessment, different worksheets and things like that to discover who are their clients, who they want to really work with, right? Because I think these are some of the things that a lot of us struggle with. Like we don't know. I don't know. I want to work with coaches. What type of coaches? What resonates with you? Why did you put into this business? To impact? So really going really deep inside yourself to learn about your ideal client. So, and then from there we just take it step by step and move along into the next step after we have identified that and go and validate it, right?
That sounds. I like that. I like that. Because I don't think a lot of people think about that when they think of a virtual assistant. I think a lot of people just think when they think of a virtual assistant is just somebody that comes in, they basically take down your information, then they go along, and then the next thing you hear something from them when they have done the work, and not realizing that there should be a connection when this person is brought to you, that there should be some type of connection between you and your virtual assistant, because like I said, they are your support team. And where would you go and allow yourself basically to fall back on somebody and not be too sure who they are and what they stand for? Maybe they can't stand. So how are you just going to allow them? You just fall back on them as your support. And then y'all don't have the same mindsets. You don't believe the same things. You don't process things the same way. I'm not saying y'all may be, the best of friends, but business wise, You guys should have a good working relationship. So that's good. I think a lot of people, I know I didn't think about that. Because I deal with a lot of Christians, I automatically think that the person I'd be dealing with is a Christian, but that may not necessarily be the case. And even if they are a Christian, they may not be the type of Christian that I am. Um, and we got to realize that everybody that calls themselves a Christian may not be the same, but or they worship the same way you do, or whatever. So you got to be careful when you think about putting people in contact, especially with, to me, your business is your baby. And so when you're talking about your baby, would you just put your baby with anybody? And so your business is the same way. Would you really just throw your baby to anybody and just go, oh, they say they're good? And
Exactly.
you gotta make sure that you are attracting the right person that's really going to help you with your business. So let's also talk about your books, To Be or Not to Be an Administrator. So what is that book about?
That book actually wrote, it was actually supposed to just be a free ebook through the coaching program that I was in, and it turned into a book. So basically, that book is about me being an admin in the office, and I share a little bit about the difference between working virtually and working at a corporation. So that's how that book came along.
All right. And so, do you find it to be helpful for for those who are thinking about coming into it? Is that one of their reads when they first come in to your program, is to read this book to find out if that is what they're really looking for, whether or not maybe they might be more tailored to a corporate, or maybe they're really fixed on being a virtual assistant?
They really fixed on being a virtual assistant, and that book, no,
Oh,
it's not required. That was just a
okay.
book that I had read a long time ago about being an administrator. For those who are in the corporate world and want to learn how to be an administrator, get some
Oh,
tips and things like that, on some different things that I did to help me in my career as an assistant.
okay.
But for the virtual assistants that come in, they already know, or who I attract is women who are working their 9 to 5 and building their virtual assistant business. So they
Okay.
want to eventually leave their 9 to 5 job.
So you would say like the vast majority of the women are already working in some form of as a virtual assistant, and they basically are trying to now build their business from
Yes.
maybe 1 or 2 clients to maybe 10 clients.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do they find clients?
Mm-hmm. There's different ways that you could find clients, and one of them is just basically networking, building a community. We have Facebook here, right? We have we have a
Right, right.
lot of Facebook. So basically, hang out where your clients are hanging out. If you want to serve coaches, mindset coaches, then hang out in the mindset coaches, because they're always saying, "Does anybody know about a virtual assistant?" I see it
That's
all
true.
the time, right?
Yeah.
You just gotta show up and
Yes.
be consistent. You can't just show up one time and say, "Oh, well, I don't know. I said something to one person and that's it." No, honey, it takes a lot more work than that to build a relationship.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. Yeah, even in every business though, you have to be able to network.
Mhm.
You have to be able to get out there and present yourself to people who might be interested in what you're doing, and allow yourself to get whatever information you can get. And hopefully that person that's one person once said, people get 3 questions and then after that you become a client. And and that may be true, from a
Right,
coach standpoint. You get 3 questions. I answered 3 questions. The fourth question, now you're my client. And now we need to
right.
talk about getting my fee. So, and I guess that would be the same with the virtual assistant. They come to you, they ask you a couple of questions, and then after a while, it's like, hey, I'm doing all this work for you. Now you're my client.
Mhm.
And we need to go
Exactly.
from there. Now we need to go from there. So,
Exactly.
now talking about your group, so you already started your group for this year. If someone was watching, could they be able to become a part of the group, or would they have to wait?
No, they can still become a part of the group. Actually, I have one who just joined the group last week. So we're in our
Oh,
second quarter and she's catching up. So it doesn't matter where you are.
mm-hmm.
The programs, the videos are there and I'm there to help. So I help my clients where they are. So not everyone is on the same page, on the
Mm-hmm.
same level. So, my program may last a little longer on a session because I'm helping a particular person with certain things. But the good thing about that, they stay and they listen and they build
Okay.
a community and they help each other out.
That's
So
good.
that's the great thing about that program.
That's good. And so, even though you're doing virtual assistants, you got that business going, is there something else that you're doing in between the virtual assisting or some other something else? I would say.
Yes, actually, I've been attracting other women to help them get their online business up and running. So I have two other clients other than virtual assistants that I am coaching one-on-one right now. I also partner with another business coach. She is more in the marketing coach. She's good with marketing, and
Mhm.
we teamed up together and we help women get their online course up for free. How to launch their course for free.
Wow. Wow.
Using the tools that we use every single day, right? We have Facebook, we have a phone, right? We have Google Doc, all these things that we can use for free that we don't have to pay for in order for
Mhm.
us to create our course. So,
Wow. Okay.
mhm.
Okay. We'll talk. We'll talk. So, can you give us some of your contacts so we can put your contact information up so we know where people can find you and reach you?
Sure, sure. You can reach me on Facebook at Coach Teekwa. I just recently changed it, so it's Coach
Okay.
Teekwa. It's
Okay.
Coach Teekwa on Instagram and IG. So those are the two platforms that I mainly use. Or otherwise, you can contact me at my website, which is teekwa.com. teekwa.com.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So we're going to put up your information so people can contact you. I like to give people an opportunity because some of us we're not we don't stay on long, but you can get her information. She is not hard to find, and I'm going to put her information up. The other thing, if y'all didn't hear me earlier, she does have another book, and it talks about being single. And I know I said I would bring her on to talk about that again, but I did want her to give you an overview of what that book would entail. Though I will be bringing her back, and maybe with a couple other women who are single, who ain't dead, who ain't in mourning, putting the ashes on their faces and looking all dry and scared about that season. But they're, but they're actually very happy where the Lord has them. And I say that funny, but it's sort of sad. And I'll say it again because I just think it needs to be said. I just think it's wrong for people to put single people as they have some type of leprosy. It is not a disease. It is
Thank
just a
you.
season. And when I bring this on, I'm going to have that scripture because when I read it for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, even Jesus talks about this. That there are people, I mean, Apostle Paul was that way. He was single and he felt everybody should be single so that everybody could just do ministry work. And so I just feel that it's wrong, especially in the church and I understand why they do it. You want people not to be, fornicating and all that other stuff. But at some point we have to learn how to live in our seasons. And if we're always pushing people, get married, get married, get married, and not learning how to be comfortable in their own skin, marriage is not going to help. It's just really not. So could you just talk a little bit about your book on being single?
Sure, yeah. So I wrote that book actually right after I surrendered it all to Jesus. You know how we have one foot in, one foot out, and we want to do
Yes.
what we want to do. And just, I had enough. And I was like, all right, I give up, God. I give up. So at that time, at my point in my life, I was going through a big breakup. The fear was not raising. I had my son, my youngest son, and not having two parents in the home again, like I did with my first son. And that was settling. But I tell you, by the grace of God, my son was fine. He was like, "Mommy, you okay? You'll find you another friend." Like, if I really needed another friend. But this book really talks about me being single and really being comfortable being single, because at one point in my life, I wanted to be married. I wanted to have I wanted to have a house. I wanted to have all that stuff. We all grow up as little girls playing with the doll babies, playing with our Barbie dolls, Ken and Barbie, right? We see, everybody together, and we want that. We see it on TV, right? That doesn't mean that it's for us, right? It's just that it's society showing us that this is how it should be, right?
Right.
So I wanted that for so long, till I got to a point where it was like, you know what? God was really working on me, because I don't even feel any desire to even want to get married at this point. Not to say that I would never get married, but I'm living in my season now, and I'm embracing it, and I'm enjoying it, and loving and having a relationship with God, and walking in my purpose. So it takes you through some steps on embracing this uniqueness.
And for all the single people, please take the time. Do you have a copy of the book so they can see it, or where can they get it? Let's put that. You have it? Okay.
This is the book here. And you can go to buyyourbook.teekwa.com and submit your form, and I'll just send it to you.
Oh, okay. All right. And learn to embrace your singlehood. For a lot of people, we have to learn to embrace that whatever season we're in, it is not to harm you, it's not to kill you, but it is to grow you. Every season is to grow you. And so sometimes that season will be a season of singlehood. Sometimes that season is going to be a season of marriage. And so whatever the season is, if we learn to embrace it, we'll grow in it. And talking about seasons, it's the same thing within a business. Within a business, there's a time that you begin to take what you have thought of, which are just your seeds, taking your seeds, placing them in the ground, and allowing someone to come along and help you to make those seeds to grow. And whether that is you are a virtual assistant right now looking for coaching, or you may be a client and you may need a virtual assistant, but you don't know where to find them. I have a master coach right here that can help you in either aspect of where you are in your season as far as growing your business. I kept putting up level up, because that's what everybody talks about now. We all need to level up. And so if we begin to level up, when we begin to put our business as important as we put some other things, we begin to prioritize. I can't speak for nobody else. I can only speak for me. I find that me now wanting to really come out of the hotel business, put it to the side, and be able to be Crazy Coach Cynthia Robinson and doing my talk shows and being on, like I said, being on tour and going around and talking about Crazy Coach and everything else, my books and all that other stuff. I can want that, but until I actually get into the habit of doing it daily, when I get into the habit of making it a point of me posting something, maybe from out of my book every day, to let people know that I actually have a book, that I am talking about this, that yes, I know your life experience is this, or I know your life experience is that. And this is what I did to make my life better. When I begin to go and start doing different things in different parts of the city and different parts of the state, and maybe even going out of the country, as some people have done with their businesses and with their books, until I'm willing to do that, I'm not ready to walk away from my business. And I bring that on only because there are some of us who say that's what we want, but then we don't do or make the effort to do what it would take to become that person. Because to become your own boss requires for you to actually be organized. It requires for you to realize that it's not just getting up and walking from your bed to the computer, that it actually requires, you don't get to have a 5-hour lunch break, that you actually have to put in work as if you were actually at a job sitting working for somebody else, working for IBM or Hilton or Marriott. It requires that type of dedication. And that's why I brought that up, that maybe it's not a fit for you, because a lot of people want to do it, but for everybody, it's not really a good fit, because they are so used to having somebody tell them what to do, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it. And when they have to do it themselves, they get lost. They get lost in the sauce. And the next thing they know, they're out there like this, and they can't figure out what's going on. And that's why I think a virtual assistant, if you're serious about it, can be a good stepping stone, in that your virtual assistants, I may be wrong, they sort of push you to be about your business. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes. You're absolutely right. Virtual assistant will get you to where you need to be, where you want. If you say that you want to concentrate on this so that you can hit your goals or whatever that is, that's what we're there for. We're there to help you meet that goal. And stay on top of you until you do it, so yeah.
So I want to ask this question as somebody who knows she needs a virtual assistant. Can you get how do you schedule a virtual assistant? Like, I've seen people on Fivers. I've seen people on Fiverr and they say, oh, I'll do it. I'll work for you for 10 hours a week, or I work for you for 20 hours a week. Is that how your virtual assistants works as well? Or is there like, oh, I work for you for the 40 hours, or how is that done?
Yeah, no, you won't find a virtual assistant that will work for you for 40 hours. I'm gonna tell you that much, right? That's like working a 9-to-5 job.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
You as a business owner, you want to work maybe 20 hours a week, right?
Right.
You can have 3 or 4 clients that make the desired income. They can make $5,000 a month just working 20 hours a week.
Gotcha.
So their goal is not to work 9 to 5. That's why they shifted from 9 to 5 to working, having their own business. So I think what a lot of people get confused about, and I had clients that came in there thinking it was something different, even though I explained it to them, is that we're not personal assistants. We are virtual assistants that help you in the things that you hired us to do, a specific thing that you hired us to do. It may be something that requires for us to do every single day for maybe an hour or 2 throughout the day. But after that, if 1 o'clock, we say hours of operation is closed at 1 o'clock, that's it. Boom, boom.
Gotcha. Okay. So you can, because I need clarification. Now, you can hire a virtual assistant. That person can specifically just work on your emails, responses. Okay. All right. Or they could just work on your social media.
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm like some other people who probably thought a virtual assistant will do all this stuff for you, and you need. That's why when you come, you get very specific questions asked, because you need to know exactly what you want that person to do. It's like, for me, giving my website to a web designer and go ahead and make it up. The web designer is going to go, okay, you gave me a website, but what do you want on it? And I think that's the same way with a virtual assistant. I can't say, okay, here's my stuff, but then don't tell you specifically what stuff you would like for them to work on. Okay, I got it.
So whereas it may take you hours of doing your email, reading your email, right? So you're hiring an expert within less time, and have ways that they can do where they can sort things out and in order for you, so it's easy for you, right? Capture what is important, capture what you don't need, capture like read later, whatever it is, putting those things in then maintaining your email so that you don't have all these emails in there. It's organized, and when you go in there, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, whoo, yes, okay, these are the important emails that I need to go to right here. So
Right.
your virtual assistant is going to shepherd you into,
Oh, wow.
organizing you with your emails so that you can do more. Now that all the time that you sitting there hours reading your emails and responding, you don't have to do that because your virtual assistant could do that for you. It could be a
Oh,
simple template where same frequently asked questions, and you can plop that. They can plop that in and send it to
mm.
your clients, or respond on your behalf.
Okay, okay. And that sounds good because I think for a lot of people, you know, doing for me, emails is not a big thing, but my social media is because I try to
Yeah,
post
it's big.
daily, and sometimes it can be a little hectic if I don't set it up. And I used to have a scheduler, and I would do it, and then I would find that what I had scheduled wasn't really what I was feeling that day, and I wanted to put something else, and then I took myself off. And I think that having someone there to assist me and just say, Cynthia, maybe that's not what you're feeling today. Maybe that's something you want to do. Like, just do a minute, just do a live minute and talk about what you feel, but keep what you got. It's keeping
Right.
you on schedule and all that
Yeah.
other stuff. Keep what you got. And just having that person to take some of and the pressure off so that you can really concentrate on those things that really, in a sense, that only really you can do. Is I think that sometimes we forget that um only I'm sorry, I started reading something I shouldn't have read it. Um, actually, uh get you to being where you need to be. If you're I can only speak because I am an author. If I'm an author, I need to be writing a book. Sometimes sitting there doing the social media stuff is not what I need to be doing that week or even that month, because I need to be concentrating on the book. But if I had a virtual assistant who could go and say, okay, we already know that on Wednesdays you're going to have your show, but the other rest of the time we're going to put stuff in there so people don't forget who you are. So when you do your launch of your new book, you're out there already. People already know who you are, and then they're comfortable. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're coming up on our last like 10 minutes. So once again, we have Master Coach um, Teekwa Scarborough here, and I am so excited because, like I said, I met her through my coach, Coach Lisa Williams, and we were at a event that was talking about us building our businesses, and have been following her ever since. And I see her build her business, and her business is about being a virtual assistant, and I say her business is more of a twofold, because not only does she help and develop the virtual assistants, she also connects virtual assistants with potential clients. And I think that's great, because I know some people that they help you build your business, and then they basically just do the bird, where they basically, okay, you built your business, boom, you're out there. You and they don't really help you with finding clients. And the point
Right.
that you do that twofold, I think, is fantastic. uh and so if you guys, and I know there are people watching because I read somebody message, if you guys are in the looking process, maybe you need someone to come and help you. I know a lot of women pastors, ministers who are out there. You're doing 6 and 7, 10 different jobs, and then you got your full-time job, and you need someone to help you with either finding a virtual assistant, or maybe you're somebody who's thinking about it. You're an admin, you're working at the job, but you would really like to be home, and doing this virus help you to realize that working from home wasn't really that bad. Like, you thought it would be a bad thing, and you found out it's not that bad. I actually like working at home, and now the bosses are talking about coming back. Maybe I want to stay home. This would be a perfect time and a good way for you to now branch out and become a virtual assistant. And for some people who work at some of these bigger churches where your pastor may need assistance, this would be perfect for you. and you can reach out to her and she can show you the different ways of attracting. Like I said, I like that she has that client attraction system. I think that is so perfect because I think that, especially even for me as a coach, attracting the right people to you is so important, because when you attract the wrong person, they wind up wasting time and you wind up wasting time, and it's not, it's not a good thing. Or they wind up thinking they're going to get one thing from you, and then when you say certain things, they're like, well, wait a minute, I didn't, that's not what I signed up for. And so, helping you attract the right people to you is really vital. And so I think that is wonderful, because I think that a lot of people don't realize, and like I said earlier, is that I didn't realize that was something that you do. Like, that sort of eliminates, I would have never thought it for virtual assistants. I know it's taught to us as coaches that you need to attract the right people, but when I thought about virtual assistants, I didn't think of it that way, because I think of it as a regular job. And most of the times at your job, if you got the skill set, they'll hire you. It doesn't matter if they they necessarily care for you or not, and they don't care for your values or whatever, but they hire you because you have the skill set. And so
Right.
I like the fact that you do have that as a part of your curriculum for the women or and men, because you don't just have women, you have men as well, correct? Going through your
No, it's
program.
just women actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. I wonder why men won't. Oh, well, I guess they see virtual assistants. It's like men being nurses. People just don't. I know men nurses, but I just know that there are people look at them funny when they say they're a nurse. And it's like it's a job, and it's a
Mhm.
very respectable job. Okay, all right.
They
Well,
have a lot of
I
men out there who are doing virtual assistant, because virtual assistant, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're doing website or social media or any other technical stuff. It's all virtual, so they're basically a freelancer. You have different
oh,
terms:
okay.
freelancers, virtual assistants, VA. It's all the same thing. It's just that it's just different entities and different skill
Wow.
sets. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, it is. Because when you think about it, somebody's working on your website, they are sort of a virtual assistant if they're working on your website. They're just doing it from an aspect of they're doing web work, but
Yeah.
it's still, and they call themselves freelancers or whatever, but it is, oh, okay.
Mhm, yeah, it's a specialty
Yeah.
service that they provide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, is there anything else you would like to add before we get ready to wrap it up?
No, I just enjoyed this conversation. Thank you for inviting me up. It's been a long time. I'm telling you, I don't know, it's been 2 years, I think, 2, 3 years.
Yes, yes, 2 or 3 years. Yeah, because she's supposed to be having another one. I think she put out that she's going to have another event sometime soon. When she said once she finished her PhD, she was going to come back out and have
Yeah,
another
she was gonna come back out. Yes,
one.
exactly.
She's gonna come back out and have another one. So it's been a minute. But I thank you for coming on the show. I thank you for when I asked you, you were more than happy to come on the show. And I appreciate that. I appreciate it because it does take time and effort. You have to sometimes put some things aside, even though the show only lasts for an hour. And I try to stay to that because I know time is money. But I thank you so much for coming on the show. And once again, she is a master coach. She does virtual assisting. She has a virtual assistant program for all of you who do not know. I know some people came on here late, and I did put some things in the comments on Facebook and on YouTube. If you are in the market, maybe you need someone to assist you in your business. As I said, you cannot do this by yourself. It's great to have a support team. Your support team can actually start with one person. If you are one person, you can start with one person. And that one person can be your virtual assistant. And that person can assist you in various areas of your business that allows you and frees you up so that you can be working on some other key points and will also push you to get to those key points as well. Because I know that for some of us, if there's not somebody behind us going, keep going, keep going, keep going, or I've done this for you, did you get that done? We don't work too well. We sort of drift off and we start to think about other things, and then we get caught up and we forget what we were supposed to be doing. So having that support, your support, there for you. with one. Sometimes maybe you need two virtual assistants. You have one virtual assistant that's doing one thing, and then maybe another one that's doing another thing
Mhm.
for you, to assist you and to get your business going and thriving and growing. Um, that would be great. And so she provides that. And also, which I learned today, I did not know, is that she has a group. And repeat again, what's the name of your group?
It's Kingdom Minded Virtual Assistant.
And this is where you learn how to be a virtual assistant, and it's done as a group. And you will learn no matter where you are. And she's already said this: no matter where you are, no matter where you come in, you can actually sign up now if you're thinking about it and you're contemplating. You have an opportunity where you can sign up with her, and I'm pretty sure she does one of her coaching one-on-one coaching sessions to see where you are
Mhm.
and to see if you would be a fit. And if you are, then you can start your journey on becoming your own boss, becoming your own, becoming a business owner, and running your house maybe the way you need to run your house. Maybe you're a single mom and you really need to be at home, especially now during the COVID, and we really don't know when everything's going to be, as they say, back to normal. I know in the hotel business they talk about 2023, where everything may get back to normal. And that's true for us because, a lot of people in one space, a lot of people aren't comfortable with that. So it may take a little longer compared to if you work I say you work at a school. Maybe you were a teacher or you're an administrator at a school. Maybe you don't feel comfortable going back to school with the children. Some people are a little apprehensive about going back and being around a large group of people. This may be something that you can do that will allow you to make an income without you having to be around a whole group of people, especially if you're not comfortable with that. So I'm just throwing that out there just in case maybe you're listening and your ear is going ding 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 ding. That just means that it's time for you to go out and really think about doing this on a regular basis. And now you have an opportunity. We can actually sit down with someone and actually talk about this and have somebody maybe walk you through it. And maybe it's not for you right now. Maybe it's something you can think about, and you've been thinking about it, but maybe you need to talk to somebody about it and see if it's really for you. And she can even help you with that as well. She may say to you, maybe in 6 months you might be more prepared, or really go back and pray on it and think on it and make sure, because a lot of times we make these big investments and we find out little into the investment that it really wasn't what we thought it was going to be. And so I'm always mindful of making sure that when you want to make this type of investment, that you pray first, you plan, and you prepare. You
Mhm.
prepare that you're going to have to give up some time, prepare you're going to have to give up some money, prepare that you're going to have to give up some sleep, prepare for what it is that you say that you want. Because a lot of us say we want certain things, but we don't prepare for it. We don't prepare that you're actually going to have to open up a real business. And that means that you're going to have to spend some money. It's not going to be free. And a lot of times you're not going to get the client before you get the money. You're going to have to invest in you first. So be prepared to invest in yourself. And maybe you have to start part-time. Maybe you still have to work that full-time job, but you got that client on the side and you start to build little by little. And then in 2 years, you're not working for nobody but you. And your life's a little freer. So definitely uh, give her a ring. I did put her information on Facebook. I put her information for you guys to be able to go and get in contact with her, because I know a lot of you, and I'm saying this because I know a lot of you need help, because I know a lot of people who are doing a lot of things and they got their hands in a lot of different barrels, and you're coming up short. You may be helping everybody else, but then you come up short because you got your hands in all the different barrels. So you have an opportunity where you have somebody who can actually help you. And I put her out there for you so you can get some help. And there's nothing wrong with help. Like I said, to me, it just reminds me of the help ministry that is in the Bible. And it talks about administration. And administration is a help ministry. For all of you who don't believe me, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. For all of you that don't know, it's in the Bible. And administration is a help ministry, and it's in the Bible. And so you don't have to feel like you're doing something ungodly. It is in the Bible, and we all need help. So, I am so excited, and I thank you so much, Master Coach Teekwa Scarborough, for coming on here and telling us about this wonderful, and for those of you who don't know, this wonderful business. It is a wonderful business. And I want to say it for what it is. It is a business. There is
Yeah.
someone who is working to provide for their family, and they're going to help you provide for your family because they're going to take some of the load off of you so that you can do what you need to do, provide for your family. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on the show. Can you show your books one more time if you have them both? She
Sure.
has two books. That is the one that we're going to talk about again. It's going to be embracing your season of singleness. Hello, embrace it. Oh, and this is oh my gosh, I almost forgot about this. She has a virtual assistant planner book. So please reach out to her. It could be very helpful for you. Thank you so much, my sister, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing you guys next week. We're gonna have another guest on, and thank you so much. Thank you guys. For those of you who were on Facebook watching, thank you so very much, and everything. God bless you. You guys have a great week. Bye bye. Crazy Coach, as usual,
Bye.
is out.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh wow, it's still going.